Today's fascinating video, assuming that the weather holds up, it doesn't look like it's going to rain, is on the Stihl KM94RC multi-tool. There it is there. And the first thing you have to do is to fill it up with the right mix. And I use this mixer bottle, which is pretty good. Now the Stihl mix, as far as I know, is 50 to 1. I'm sure if you put in 40 to 1 it would smoke a bit, but it would still work. You need the 2-stroke oil to lubricate the engine because there's no fuel pump or no oil pump inside the tool itself. So you just go ahead and you fill it up with the 50 to 1. Unfortunately, the fuel cap is always on so tight that you need some kind of a spanner to open it up. I do have arthritis in my fingers and hands, so maybe you've got stronger hands than me, but it seems I need pliers to open the fuel cap. So that's it fueled up. It's incredibly easy to start. Nobody really needs instructions on how to start it, but I will show it in a minute, but I'm going to show something else first. So there's the standard hedge trimmer attachment. I can move this down, which I don't seem to be able to do anymore for some reason. Oh yeah, this one. A bit of an intelligence test with this one when you first get it. But I'll show you how you operate the head angle, which did confuse me slightly when I first got it. This is the bit you need to pay attention to. You pull that down and that moves it around, and then you put it back and it locks it in place. It's not obvious, but there is an arrow here that shows you that it goes up and down, and it also moves that. It's quite stiff, so it's not completely straightforward how it works. The next thing is I've got a very high hedge. What's it over there? It's about, I don't know, 10, 12 feet high. So these two parts, that part and that part together, are only about 6 feet. So I bought this carbon extension part that I've never used, and it gives me an extra meter. So I should be able to do the top of the hedge with this bit here. It's made of carbon because, you know, obviously all these parts added together start to get really heavy. Now the problem with these tools, these combi tools, and this is a Stihl, what's it called? Stihl 94, KM94. It's got a very small engine actually. I think it's a 25 or a 31 cc. I've also got a Hyundai with a 50 cc. But the problem is that the more length, the more extension you put on it, the less power is transferred to the tool head. So quite often it's not the best by the time you get all the extensions on. But I'm going to fire it up and then I'm going to try it, and I'll hopefully film that as well. So I went back and did a bit more thinning out with a pull pruner, and then finishing with a hedge trimmer. I mean, the lesson here is that you need both tools. Another lesson is don't let your Leylandii or your hedges grow too big, because once they get above sort of 8 feet tall, it's impossible to get to them. I've still got to do the back of this hedge. I've no idea how I'm going to get to it without a 12 foot, 15 foot tool, but as the tools get longer, the ability to control them and the ability to get power to the tool head decreases. Anyway, the Hyundai I think is a 52cc thing, and as far as a pole saw goes, it's absolutely brilliant. And this is a great hedge trimmer, the KM. Any Stihl hedge trimmer will be great. Always go for petrol. Forget batteries and electric. But they're heavy. I mean, the Hyundai is very heavy and the Stihl is quite heavy. But as it gets longer, of course, you've got that pendulum motion, that moment to think about where it gets harder and harder to control, because it gets, I don't know, the inertia or the moment gets different, and it's just hard to balance it and control it. And of course, you've got to be happy standing on a ladder that might collapse at any time as well. So that's done for another year or two.